Welcome back to Prospect Park ahead of the 2010 NBA Draft. Matt Weiner, our college basketball analyst Chris George, and David Aldridge joining us as well as we take a look at the top 5 point guards available according to Chris. We talked about John Wall already. Interestingly enough, the number 2 guy on your list played the same position at the same school. Eric Bledsoe hit 8 threes against East Tennessee State in the NCAA tournament, a 38% three-point shooter for the year, which is better than John Wall. How does he project to the next level?
Well, you know, I think a lot of people wanted to see how he would be as a true lead guard without somebody like John Wall around. But the thing about him, they were able to subordinate their skills together and commingle, and I like that. He really is a true lead guard. He may be a little undersized for the next level, but he's got a huge wingspan, he's tough, and he's physical. And I think all those things combined will make him, enable him to play. And he really is a facilitator. I saw him a lot in high school, and that's what he does. He's a lead guard.
Small point guard, David, what are scouts and NBA people saying about Eric Bledsoe?
Well, you know, again, there are concerns about his size, and some coaches that I talked to, some college coaches said, look, you know, we were much more worried about Wall in the half court than we were about Bledsoe. But no, Chris is right. He's got to play the point, I think, in the NBA. He can't be a 6-foot shooting guard, I don't think. So he's going to have to play the point. He does have great toughness. He's very quick with the ball. And this is a guy that, unlike some other guys we're probably going to talk about, was a point guard in high school. So, I mean, it's a natural position for him in the NBA. And he's going to be right there with some of the other point guards. You know, whether, you know, he's going to be picked before a guy like Armin Johnson out of Nevada. But the people that I talk to think Armin Johnson, if you had a game tonight in the NBA, might be a little bit more ready to play point guard in the NBA tonight. But that doesn't mean in 2 years that Eric Bledsoe's not going to be a better player, because he probably will be. Sure,
it's so tough to evaluate those one-year guys, especially in Bledsoe's case, in the shadow of John Wall. Grievous Vasquez, whole different story. The ACC Player of the Year, gritty point guard out of Maryland, real good size. In fact, really unusual size for a point guard coming into the NBA at 6'6". He was the Bob Cousy Award winner in addition to the Conference Player of the Year.
You know, it really surprised me that he won the Cousy Award. I picked him second. I have a vote on that, not first. I picked John Wall, but apparently a consensus pick of all the experts that voted thought he was a true lead guard, and he does have size. The thing about this kid, he's a fiery competitor. Yeah. Talking to their coaches, they said they never wanted to tamp that down. Because they didn't want to put out that fire. Sometimes it was good, sometimes it was bad with his emotions. The other thing I like about him is he can get to the rim, he can make tough twos. The question about this kid is his lateral quickness. Can he defend at the next level?
Yeah, DA, this was a guy who became a target in opposing ACC arenas. Gritty is a word that comes up over and over again in terms of his competitiveness. What do NBA personnel people like about him?
Well, that very thing, that this is a tough kid. He's not going to back down from a challenge. You know, it's the age-old story. He's a guy that you love to have on your team and you hate to play against him because he's going to irritate you. He's going to get under your skin. He's going to woof a little bit, but he backs it up. I mean, last year at Maryland, he made a number of incredible shots in the last minute to win big games for them in the ACC and also in the tournament. And so, you know, this is a guy that has moved up. He's had some terrific workouts for teams and is a solid, I think, first-round pick now. And the question now is, can he get into the high 20s, maybe even the low teens? It's possible, I guess.
All right, so those are some of the obvious first-round guys. I want to get your thoughts on a sleeper, and a guy you really like is a senior out of Alabama, Mikal Torrance.
Mikal Torrance never played the first 2.5 years of his career, and then Mark Gottfried was let go as coach. His interim coach played him a lot, and then this year with Anthony Grant, he started. He's a true ambidextrous guy. He throws left, rights with his right hand, so he can get to the rim and score either way. He's a good jump shooter, and I think he's a natural facilitator. Even at 6'5", 6'6", he played the point for them, and I think Anthony Grant thinks that he can be if not a true point, but at least a combo in today's NBA where both guards have to be able to handle the ball.
Made some noise for himself at the Portsmouth Invitational, 17.6 assists in that tournament. How many eyes did he open?
Well, he did have a great tournament in Portsmouth and did a great job. And Chris mentioned Anthony Grant, and obviously with his background at Florida and then at VCU, he's produced a lot of guys, a lot of guards that have wound up in the NBA in the last few years. So this is a guy that has a track record, and certainly a guy like Torrance is going to be a guy that's going to fit that bill. And again, with the rules the way they are now in the NBA, with the inability to hand check, you know, your combo guards are going to be much more valuable than they were a few years ago. So a guy with some size, and people are playing a lot more two-guard front than they used to. A guy like that can bring the ball up, initiate offense, is going to have some value in the NBA.
6 feet 5 inches. Again, he was a senior at Alabama, but not your typical senior because he didn't get a lot of playing time as an underclassman for the Crimson Tide. And you've got him, where are people saying he's going to go? Where's he going to wind up? You know,
I think he's going to be a second-round pick. I really do. I think that a lot of scouts weren't able to see him the first couple of years. Scouts get on to you by your sophomore year, freshman year, and he just didn't play. And I think the Portsmouth tournament really opened some eyes. He got down there, and everybody wanted to be his teammate down there. He showed, again, that he could facilitate. And Anthony Grant told me that he's a lot better jump shooter than people think he is. He just needs to have the confidence to continue to go to it. So, as D.A. said, he's a true combo guy, and those are worth their weight in gold in the NBA.
Absolutely. Time to learn a little more about Mikal Torrance from the man himself.
Mikal Torrance from Mobile, Alabama. I've been playing at the University of Alabama, all 4 years. I'm a senior. Had a pretty good career. I have a one-year coach, Anthony Grant, who came in and did a great job with me. I had a pretty good year, and just happy for the opportunity. I came from the ground up. A lot of people didn't really know who I was, so that was my motivation this whole off season, working out and stuff, and coming in with a great coach who pushed me every day. It was just a great opportunity for me, and I think I had a pretty good off-season as well in Portsmouth, so I really moved up. I'm a hard worker. I just want to show the versatility of my game, being a point guard. I also can guard, point guard, shooting guard as a small forward, so that's going to be very important. I just want to really show I'm versatile and, I can defend and I'm very athletic. I've been through adversity. I went through everything, the NBA is looking for. I'm a heady guy. I'm smart. I'm just ready to come in and play right away.